presentation of Mogau's Kingdom, a mobile game for children. And our speakers today are Amy Sefton and Nkosifile Mazibuko, also known as Mazi. And some of you actually may recognize them from a session yesterday that we had. It was Mbali's Izuko's Super Explorer, a webcomic. And this evening, they'll be sharing the mobile game with us. And it's about getting children excited about reading. And it also brings the life of the characters from Book Dash's African stories to life. And it's also could be played in 11 South African languages. So Amy, Mazi, you can take it away and share with us what you have.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Beverly and Esther.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So thanks for giving us your time. My name's Amy, and I'm the project manager of Culture Code. It was a team we put together for a hackathon called Hack Your Culture, which took place last year. I'm presenting with Nkosifile Mazibuko, who's somewhere on whichever screen you're on.
Hello, everyone.
Known as Mazi.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nkosifile Mazibuko, known as Mazi. I'm an illustrator. Yeah, I work with Amy Vinatizigo, and yeah, we're looking forward to share you this amazing presentation that we have.
Yeah, our other team members are Mornay Ghost, who is a Namibian, Nick Spelbergen, and Glenn Allard. Maz and I both work at a national museum, but we saw this hackathon and we actually wanted to bring a hackathon to the museum. So we joined it to figure it out and sort of see what it was all about. So today we're going to present what we did at that hackathon. The problem statement we chose was how might we bring awareness to the online collection of Book Dash books by creatively adapting their open access books to make a fun, engaging edutainment experience that would appeal to a very young target audience.
Yes, and choosing Book Dash was not a big deal to us. It was really easy. We loved what Book Dash are doing. I'm also involved in creating some of their books. Reading plays a huge role in developing our future generation and the world. And early childhood development was something we wanted to promote. We hope that our project, a game, will find someone that might not be as so excited about books as they are about games or reading to their children. Catching them on Play Store and then through this game, leading them to Book Dash's online library. We wanted to help children fall in love with the Book Dash world, to bring awareness to the benefits and sharing books with children, and also empower caregivers to feel comfortable engaging with children while reading.
So yeah, thanks to Hack Your Culture and funding from Goethe and Book Dash publishing their books under the Creative Commons license, and our amazing team, we were able to make the prototype of Mogau's Kingdom during the hackathon. And during that hackathon, we came third. We were then supported by the Goethe-Institut to actually develop the game fully. So Mogau's Kingdom is published under Cobalt Studios Production, which is our team, Mornay's production company. He's the game developer. It really was more than just our core team. It was a full team effort. It was made possible with the funding from Goethe-Institut and funding from Saddler. And it was made in partnership, very close partnership with Book Dash and with Credible, who were running the hackathon.
I would like to introduce you to Mogau's Kingdom. Amy is going to play short clips of the game. And this game is from our prototype. Amy, can you please play that for us?
I'm going to try play it. If you can't hear my voice, please just let me know. Are you guys seeing the game, the video?
Yes,
yes, we are seeing something on the screen.
Oh, there we go. So you enter in and you actually play as yourself, which we thought was quite great because kids under 5 love to see their name, and you really could become yourself here. We also try to make it quite gender neutral, so it wasn't really about what you were wearing, but we did make the skirt and the pants option. And so that just allowed the child to like become themselves and enter into the game and play as themselves. We added this area here so that we could make some messages to caregiver, do our credits, and link it to Book Dash. Yeah, so we adapted each of these characters from one of the Book Dash books. So we really brought these 8 characters, well-loved books into this world, and they all became characters that you met along the way with Mogau. We kept all the styles exactly the same, so it's really identifiable. You can make that connection. The game was developed so that the child can't. There were lots of early childhood development features built in, so we affirmed the choices they made, and we helped them repeat choices so that they really got the sort of beginning of reading. We're really proud to say that we have been able to offer it in multiple languages, and we've done it so that we could add additional chapters. We looked at how.
Can I just interrupt, Amy?
Yeah.
I realized when you move your head, then the sound is getting worse. If you turn your head the other side, yes, then it's way better.
Yes, I'm on 2 screens and I'm playing the video off one screen. So let me stop share and resume share. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so one of the things that we tried to do was to mimic some of the things that Book Dash are teaching caregivers to do while reading. And we tried to make it so that they were really comfortable reading and playing with the child and doing the imaginative play. And we did it so that it encourages reading aloud and exploring each of these pages. And when we tested, it really did work that way. The kids were reading aloud, and it was quite wonderful. At the end, the child's given a book with their name in it, and it summarizes their personal adventures. So whatever they chose, that would come out in the book. And we really try to say like that end game result was, it's so exciting to own a book. And at the very, very end, you get linked through to the Book Dash library. So I'm going to share my presentation again. There we go. Yeah, so really the game brings together these characters from Book Dash's world as if they were friends in your library kingdom, and it lets the child adventure with them. And we hope that playing the Book Dash characters in a mobile game and getting the book as a final reward helped frame books as fun, adventurous, and desirable, ultimately promoting book ownership from a very young age. And this really came through when we did our testing. Muzz is going to speak a little bit about his experience of doing the testing. Muzzy, let me know when you want me to play the video.
Okay, I'll let you know. Testing the game was really amazing. It was really, really, really so amazing. Seeing teachers, parents, and caregivers engaging in this game with children was also impressive. One of the aim of this game is to make reading fun for children, and they had a lot of fun doing that. Teachers really enjoyed seeing kids spelling out their names, reading out loud, and using their imagination. This was an unexpected feedback. Parents say this game is taking away time kids spend watching TV, and also it's a good use of smartphones. Another thing that we find that caregivers say this is one of the games that accommodates all South African languages, and children were so excited to own this game, wanted to play again and again. When we gave children children books as a thank you after helping us with the testing, immediately we recognized that children also recognize the characters that we use in the game. So that was really amazing. That was really amazing. And it also support Book Dash vision, of which is to increase ownership among young children. I believe, Emgy, can you please just play a video of during the testing? As you can see, a family, Sitebe family, helping and assisting a child while he was playing. So on this video, you can see children, a kid started to read out his name and also playing around with the character that they see. And yeah, it was so amazing to see that. And also even the parents were there to support. And even after that, a younger one was also there to assist.
Okay, so you must click all the ones wearing hats. That bag has a hat. That hen is wearing a hat. The man looks friendly. That's a man from Lesotho.
Click here. Click.
And the dog.
There we go. The bird, click. Nice.
The tall giraffe.
Yeah. The giraffe is tall. Of course.
We are at the clinic now. Enjoy the library. Don't forget your hat.
Take your hat. Got a hat now.
Got a drum and a hat.
Nice. Where's the thing?
Thank you, Emmy.
Is my screen back on, my presentation screen?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible seeing the children really enjoy it. But the other was the interaction between the older children and the younger children, which we were hoping to do, but it really did work. And we'd aimed it at children just learning to read, but we found that the older children also enjoyed playing it. Am I right, Mans?
Yes, they really enjoyed. And it's just so amazing to see them spelling out their names and also noticing all the characters that we did. And as it's another platform where it's assisting children on to reading to improve their reading, and also every child has a right to read, write, and create. So this game is part of those that influence and also shows that with creativity and digital work that we're doing, we can play a huge role into our society.
The one thing that came out of the testing that was really unexpected that I love to hear was that Mazi found that some of the teachers who just taught kids that a word that day, the word was in the game, and they were like, oh, you know this, that's this word, say this word. And it actually became a way that they could test what their vocabulary. We hadn't imagined it to work like that, but it seemed to be picked up by teachers like that. One of the things that our team really believe in is access. We found that too few games and children's books, but specifically games, existed with Southern African stories, Southern African characters, and in our languages. And we really, really believe in access. We believed in engaging children in their first language, starting early. And we're very, very excited that in partnership with Sadler, we're able to offer this game in 11 official South African languages, hoping to find some funding for some Namibian languages. And we're really excited to link this children's game to Book Dash's library, which is a free online library, which hold many, many more books in South African languages written by South Africans and Southern Africans. It's also why we released this game for free. It's completely free. We believe every child should have the opportunity to play in their own language and then access Book Dash's books for free. Thanks to the funding, we've been able to offer it for free. We didn't have to subsidize it with any adverts or in-game payments. You download it once, and then there's no more data usage. Unless you click out to the Book Dash website or any of the partner pages. And I believe that Book Dash is a free access web page, so it's a data-free web page. That's always tentative, so we don't advertise it, but as it stands right now, I think it is still free to read their books without any data costs. It does mean that we need funding for further upgrades and chapters. And annual funding to keep it on the Apple App Store. So Play Store, you pay once off, but Apple makes you pay once a year. But we have secured funding to keep it up for a few years. So this model does have its pros and cons. It's largely relied on the Creative Commons books. And because we believed in access and we didn't want to make a lot of money out of it, that's why we released it. But it does mean that we can't guarantee that it will always be up on Apple.
Yeah. And another thing, we have also started looking at partnership to add more African languages to the game, just to make the game more accessible to each and every kid around. Because even with Book Dash, that's what they do. They make sure in their books they translate it to each and every languages that we can get. So even with this game, we have started looking at partnership to add all modern any of African languages. And yeah.
Yeah, so we really believe in the game, and we're really excited about launching it in 11 languages. And from our testing, we saw the need for it. We saw how empowering this game could be. And we're really, really excited about seeing it out in the real world and in the hands of children. We found that this model was a good model for partnerships. And it really made sense when you looked at hackathons and how important hackathons can be to bring industry and creators together. Without this hackathon, we wouldn't have been able to see it. And also it's a good argument for publishing under open access licenses. Because of this, we were able to promote these books. And I think open access licenses make it easy with a little bit of funding to take something through to the public. Yep, we could talk on, but I see there's a hand up, so maybe we should open this to the floor.
Yes.
Yes, I think we can. Let's see. I'm not sure where you're seeing that.
I think it's me.
Oh, yes,
I think
okay.
it's me. So Amy, what must we do if we want, let's say, to add to one of these books a Namibian language? You mentioned that we would like to have also Namibian languages on it. What is the procedure?
I think the procedure would be to email myself. I'm still project manager. And then we discuss what your resources are. So if you have in-house professional translators and editors, then that obviously would be wouldn't be a cost to us. And then we'd give you the budget of what it would be for us to upload it. It's not a huge budget. And then we'd also discuss, if you want to include social media and a launch into that, we'd work out how much that would be, whether you just like to run it, whether you want us to run it, we'd have to find someone to then do that. So it's just really well, let's have a meeting and let's discuss what you have available, what your budget is, how we can make it work, what kind of resources you have available, what languages you want it in, and we could take it from there.
Okay, that sounds good. I think we can finance at least 1 or 2 languages, and but then I must also have some feedback from the audience. What language would we choose? I mean, we have also so many languages in Namibia. I think 11. Eh?
11.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, including German, Yeah. But we're looking more for, I don't know, Oshivambo, Oshikwanyama, Ochirero, or what else? Yeah, Koikogova, maybe, I don't know.
Okay, so there's some links to our languages.
Yeah, I think probably is some link. Yeah.
Setswana also, maybe, but it's more Botswana. Yeah.
What we managed to get was a partnership with Sadler, who are a digital language resource center, which made it really easy because they had access to all of their special copywriters and translators. And then they were also able to send it to professionals to check that content was correct. So one of the things we noticed is in this content we wrote, that man is friendly. But we didn't, I mean, they had the game, they had images to look at, so they had context, but we didn't remind them that is an elder gentleman and you're playing as a young kid. Right. So then I had to pick that up and go, oh, hang on, because I can speak a very small bit of Zulu and Xhosa, that's not necessarily the way I would address my elder. So then, you go back and you check with the specialist, is this the way we're going to address the elder so that it is not offensive? So it's a help to be able to have people like that who can double check and just say, yep, this is not offensive or this is correct. And the other thing that we found interesting with translations is when you send it to professional translators, they tend to make it very formal. So we sent it to a professional Zulu translator, and Maz, who's Zulu, went, oh, hell no, my son's not going to want to read that word. He's going to use this word and this word and this word, and it's going to fit into the game and it's going to fit the style. So it's always, translation's always interesting, and it's always a little bit more than you think it's going to be in terms of just getting it right. But it is so special to see it in more languages.
True.
Yeah, that's really great. I want to just step back a bit and ask you guys about your careers, because I'm sure our attendees don't necessarily know what you do. So just give us a little bit more background in where you started and to the point of like where you got to this point of working with Book Dash or at DigiCul like you do, Amy, and you as well with Mazi, with the other project that you did. Just so that we have a little bit more background in how you got to where you are now.
You can start, him. Yes, please go first.
Yeah, because mine's very short. Maz's CV is like this. I look at Maz's CV and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah, so I studied fine arts here in Cape Town, and I was always very interested in the museum sector, always very interested in how it's been used wrong for so much of its history, how it's been used as a propaganda machine. And I was always interested in who held that power, who told the stories. And so when the position for an exhibition designer came out, it was really exciting for me. I never wanted to be a curator because the curators are the people that craft those stories. And I got to be the person that turned that story into something that was an experience, which was really exciting to me. So I've been with the DigiCul for 6 years. I've recently moved up to have an official curator title, which is strange for me, but to really establish a design units and production units. So yeah, I've thoroughly got myself into the museum sector, and I don't see myself leaving. But the one thing that we struggled with is being able to have funding to play with great games like this, which were so part of what we did in terms of telling stories and early childhood development. There's so much you can do with museums, but I really wanted to see what more they could be. And we wanted to do a hackathon. We wanted to bring the youth into the museum and say, do what you want. Yeah. So that's where I got involved with the hackathon. Maz was already with us. He already loved Book Dash. We actually chose Book Dash as a team. We all just, after all of the presentations, we got to choose through a whole bunch. No one said anything other than Book Dash. Yep, that's me, Maz.
Okay, me, wait, where to start? Oh, so me, it all started way back. Grew up in a household whereby I was surrounded by art. I was surrounded by textile and design, because my mom used to do African attire. So all around the house, I'll see beads, I'll see all the colors. So that's where it started to fall in love with art and creativity. Originally, I'm from Johannesburg. After high school, I moved to Eastern Cape to study fine arts. And that's where I find a background of what is art and how to use your art to actually follow your goals, and also get a lot of how can I put it, to as a career, you know, because we grew up in a space where art was just a hobby. So me studying art, that's where I understand what is art and how to make business with art. But besides that, I also fell in love with digital world. I fell in love with games and comics. So, but then I moved back to Joburg after my fine art diploma. I moved back to Joburg to do design. I was with what they call it, Umuzi Photo Club. It's a digital advertisement institution where they teach kids from townships what is advertisement and stuff like that. So I was part of that team. That's why I also fell in love with graphic design, and I got a bursary to study graphic design here in Cape Town with Friends of Design Institution. And between those years, that's where I also started to test myself and also fell in love with illustration. I won a competition with a competition to develop a comic with MTV Sugar, where we did MTV Sugar as a comic. So that's where I also fell in love. I also started to do a research about comics. I found out that Super Strikers is in Cape Town. I sent them my CV and my portfolio. They gave me a platform whereby they gave me a platform to be a letterist for a week. And it was so amazing. That's where I work hard for that platform. And they say, yeah, they offered me a job as a letterist. That's where I started as a letterist, and every day I was developing. I started to be their illustrator. We did a lot of illustration. I worked with Super Strikers. We were creating Super Striker. We're doing storyboards for Super Strikers too. And after that, I saw a platform with Book Dash. You know, when they say you can volunteer to do a book dash, I was with them. We did the first book was and also after that book, I fell in love again. Like, okay, let me do it again. I do it twice. And on that time, I got the opportunity to work with Clyde. He was also part of Super Strikers. Then we developed a book called Where is Lulu? It's also part of this game. Then from there, saw opportunity at Iziko with the experience that I have. I was like, okay, I know I'm into comics, but let me try something different. Let me try something huge. It was not easy to transfer my skills from just a comic artist into a museum world, because in museum world everything is so different. You know, it's so different because now the whole communication have to also go to enrich each and every audience they have. While in comics, we know our audience is comic lovers, but when you go to your museum spaces, the whole audience is elder, kids, teenagers. So it was a huge platform. And thank you to Emmy. Since I've came into Easygo, she was always around, and as someone who would mentor me, as someone who would give me opportunity to also express my creativity. And with them, yeah, we work hard, and we saw this opportunity, agriculture. We joined the team as a team of other creatives that we have, Nick and Monet, because we also worked with them once. Monet, we worked with him on one of the exhibition where we introduce gaming into a museum, of which it's another thing that we do. And it's so great to be these young minds in an institution that we know that it's full of people with a lot of experience, but us, we're just bringing this innovative technology, digital world into a museum. And we're so glad and excited that we are part of the team that they also allow us to bring our youth innovative, and they're giving us chance to do that. So yeah, so my background is just creativity and also helping children, and yeah, that's what I can say for now. But yeah, there's a lot that we're also willing to do, and there's also that we also planning to do. It's not just only these games. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, thank you, Emmy. Some of my work, you can see it at Mazibon Art on Instagram. And I'll also give my email address. I'm just willing to assist. And also my biggest goal is to just, I have a quote where it says, every child have a right to read, write, and create. So I've started I can say it's a workshop for now, but I'm willing to make it a school way to teach children what the skills that I have, because I believe with what we have, we also have to pass it to the young ones, because they also have this opportunity. As much as we have this game for them, one day they have to also know that they can also create such amazing games like we did. So yeah, that's what we do. And thank you for this opportunity.
Great. Thank you so much. You both have such a wide range of experience, and your love for art definitely comes through with the work that you're doing, which is awesome. I believe that Detlef may have a question. He raised his hand.
Yeah, now you've heard what about the experience about what Mother did already, and I actually invited him already 2 times to come to Namibia next year for illustrator workshop. I don't know if you did say yes or no, but I
Yes.
hope we will, we will see you next year.
100% yes.
Yeah, and maybe can I share my screen? I would actually like to show the people about Book Dash, because you were talking so much about Book Dash. Esther, I've seen your hand. You're coming now. The Book Dash, you were talking about the Book Dash. That is the page. I put it in the chat. There you can see all these books here. You can download. Moment, where the books stop? Where here? There you click read free books.
It goes straight up.
Yeah, and these are all the books you can download for free. And I've got another surprise for the people that are joining us here. This book here, Come and Stay With Me. There was Nasrim Sieg, who was recently in Namibia. This book we made we had some printouts. So we spent a bit, put some money in the hand and print it out. And everybody who is joining this meeting can have 20 of these examples free of charge. You just write to me or to the Goethe-Institut, windhoek.library@goethe.de, or check on the internet, and just write, I would like to have my Book Dash books, and you will get 20 of the books to distribute for your classroom, for your children, for wherever. So it's worth it to have a look at this page, and you see you can here read the book. It takes a while, you see, and then but like it's a Creative Commons, you can use this and give it straight to print to a company, and you can print out then a hard copy of it.
They've actually got the print ready files, so they've got the easy to read files, and then they've got the ones with all the marks that the printers need.
Yeah. Yes. So the page is bookdash.org. That is the page. So please feel free to send me, pop in a message that you're looking for your copies. And maybe I can give straight over to Esther.
Yes, Esther, you had a question?
Oh yeah, now I'm a bit confused because Detlef was talking about other nice things again. I actually just wanted to find out this game that you are talking about. Can I actually download it on my mobile or on my, laptop, like as I speak? And, because now I work with schools and we do a lot of reading activities with the children. So I was just wondering if I can, download it and start using it. And maybe just I'm a bit confused, like how would I also go about it and, just have it on the device and maybe make use of it.
That would be amazing.
Okay, and Detlef, I'm coming for those 20 copies. I need to give them to my children.
You're welcome.
All right.
So the book will be launched in about 2 weeks. It's out already, but it just has a glitch, and we're waiting for Play Store to approve the new. We fixed the glitch, but they take a while to approve. It also should be available in all 11 languages. So we launched it in Zulu, English, and Xhosa first. It should be available in all 11 languages within 2 weeks. So if you're on an Apple, you go to the App Store. If you're on an Android, you go to Play Store. Just type in Mogau's Kingdom, you'll be able to download it. And we have developed it so that the child can't do it alone unless they can read. You need a caregiver to read with them. It is easy enough for an older child, a sibling, to be able to do it with them. And it's also, from our testing, easy enough that if they play it once or twice with someone, they can then play it alone. But it is really, we thought about doing voiceovers on it, but then we decided, no, the real essence is to read aloud and to do that connection that you have around a book and be able to share that experience too. Did that answer your question, Esther?
Yes, yes, indeed it does. So I'll be waiting for after 2 weeks.
I just want to say that my godmother was a librarian and she introduced me to books, and my mom read to me every single night. And I want to thank you both as librarians, because I think what you have done has made me part of who I am and helped me with my imagination. And I'm just really grateful to librarians.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yes, to add, also send a link on the chat, and you can also get it on Book Dash social media. If you can go to Book Dash social media, this link will take you where you can register, so that immediately when it launches, we can send you an email and telling you where you can get it. So everyone who can just click on this link, then it will lead you to a screen jumping into Mogau's Kingdom. That's where you can put your details immediately when it's launching, or anything that is updated, any news about Mogau's Kingdom. So by clicking this link, it will lead you to the kingdom too.
Very nice. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you.
I now had a question about the development of this game, because was it developed during COVID or was it before? It was during COVID. So how did that process work? Were you also social distancing at the time, or was it at a time where the lockdown wasn't as extreme? And because like we had some kids testing the game and we saw some pictures of the kids as well.
We didn't meet Monet Onyx through this entire process. I've met him when they developed the Kemet game for us, so an ancient Egyptian game. He was still a student. He was actually, we were testing a hackathon with Friends of Design. But yeah, testing was impossible. Goethe were so kind to us to give us the leniency, because we were meant to develop it, launch it much earlier. And we just weren't happy launching it without testing, and we just couldn't test. We tried, I mean, Maz, how many people did we phone?
Yeah, it was so hard. It was really hard. And another thing, what I've realized with this lockdown, social distancing, you find that others will ask parents that, can I come? They're like, nah, it's still lockdown. You know, we try to organize a platform whereby I'll go into a center with few kids. Others were like, they won't come. So that's why immediately when we extended a testing, likely my mom, she works at a daycare, so she was like, okay, how about you just come, because it's a daycare and we know we'll do practice the social distancing and you'll get a lot of kids there and stuff. So we did that. That's what made it successful, because we had different kids and we also tested how, yeah, they were so excited. So that I even went to close family. They were so keen to also assist everyone with a kid. We're like, okay, you can come at this time. We'll organize, you can come at this time. And they were so excited to even receive the books, because while we were testing them, amazing thing, we would give them a books, and they were so excited to see that the books. And even now, I'm sure where they are, they're still waiting. Even it was hard for me to leave that space. They were like, no, can we play a game? Can we play a game? So I believe this game is really an amazing, and I don't think there will be any exciting event that will be better than this event, just that the lockdown. But I just believe if it wasn't for a lockdown, we will just get as many kids as possible, because this is not for only us, it's also for kids and also caregivers. And with translation, I also learn a lot. You know, you learn a lot that even the languages that we don't know, now we have to understand them, because now we are the behind the scenes, you know. So it's also exciting, because we have to know each and everything that we put in this game. It's going straight, and also assist with education, because yeah. Thank you.
We did test, Monet tested at 2 schools in Namibia.
Yes.
So we did test. Esther, your target audience has been tested. And it was really nice, like small things like adding kites. Us in South Africa, we don't play with kites. So it looks at Monet like, you want to include the kite? He's like, no, we're including the kites. He's like, we play with kites there. I was like, okay, cool. So it was really nice to have not just South African developers. That was great. And with COVID, we would not have been able to have a Namibian developer if we hadn't had COVID, and this wasn't the status quo. I mean, the hackathon was completely online. With the development, we were one of those teams that we just had this lucky connection of a group of people that were all doing different things. So we were able to develop the game quite fully, which then made it much cheaper for Goethe to then finish the development payment. So we developed it under Creative Commons, under Hackathon. So then there was nothing they could pay us for that. So what we developed up to that point was obviously our gift to the hackathon. And then from there, the funding was then just to tweak stuff up to make sure it was in all languages. The language upload costs a little bit to project manage, to do the social medias and to do the testing. And Book Dash gave us books to give out to the children as thanks for the testing. As Maz said, they really recognize the characters.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really great. I like that, like you said, because Monet's from Namibia, you were able to get more cultural input as well for the story. And then also 2 schools in Namibia tested it, which I find like really awesome because like you, I'm a book lover. Like that is where my creativity started, and my love for characters, my love for creating stories, my love for going into a magical world that's different from my own, which clearly with Mogau's Kingdom, that's what it is for these kids. I wanted to know if any of the other guests have any questions. And if not, then we can have some last thoughts that you or Mazi have, Amy.
Esther or Beverly?
I would like to know the 2 schools that you tested this game on. I'm interested.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Monet did the testing. I've got to remember
town it was in, or
yes, I'm trying to remember where Monet is from, and I know it's in my head and it's gone.
Who is that, Mona?
Sorry, it's no, it wasn't Vinter. I think it was Swakop. Yeah, it was Swakopmund. Yeah, Swakop. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he said he chose not to do the affluent schools. I think, if that helps. It sounds so bad. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So that might, I mean, I don't know how many schools are on Swakopmund, but that might help you figure it out. I could email you if you're really interested. I could ask Monet.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would be lovely.
Pop me your email address.
Okay. Tobias. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you, Esther.
And Amy, you can also send me an email regarding the procedure for the languages, please. But the only thing is, I only have the money this year. I don't know about next year. So that's important. Yeah. Then okay.
We can try. Let's take it up and go for it.
It mustn't be ready this year, but I must spend the money this year.
We know how that works. We have similar systems here at DigiCul.
No, that would be great. I would love to see the story also in some Namibian languages, because there is the separation of knowledge where the kids, they don't necessarily speak English or Afrikaans, or German, which are one of the main languages that a lot of people do speak here in Namibia. And it would be great if the kids could have books that they could relate to in their own language. Which is probably why, Mazi, those kids love those books so much. They were like, I love it. I want these books. We'll play it again. Because they could relate to it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to early childhood development. If we really believe in early childhood development, and I truly believe that if we want to see a better future, if we want to see a world we want to live in, we've got to start developing the children who are going to be the leaders, going to be the everyday person now. And if we can't speak to them in the way they process the world, then we failed already.
Yes.
Can I ask again something, because I know Amy, she has to go at 7. She can't stay that long, but tomorrow, if I remember, tomorrow you're again in the program, and I put actually for everybody in the chat the program for tomorrow, and maybe I can quickly share my screen. You are here with Tata Madiba. Maybe you can maybe you can talk a little bit about what we're expecting tomorrow. Tata Madiba goes digital.
Yeah, so we actually chose 3 different digital projects that we've done from exhibitions and this one. One was a comic book, one was a game, and then one was a traditional exhibition that we digitized, just to sort of show the different variations. And we really believe in learning from each other. So that we thought that maybe what we could do is show these 3 things and then open up the discussion and see what other people were thinking, what, then they could also ask us which mediums might better suit them, which are the best budget ones, which one take the most time. So tomorrow we're really just showing what that process of a very formal 3D exhibition looks like. We'll take you through it, and then we'll briefly do some of our lessons, pros and cons from that, and open up again so that anyone can pick our brains. I really believe that we're a community that just need to learn from each other, and any knowledge that we can share, we obviously will.
Yes, and into reminding us that we have 3. So these 3 presentation, or these 3 exhibition that we did, it was our quick response to lockdown, our quick response to the pandemic. So it's one of those things that we were so grateful of, and it shows that with this digital platforms, we wouldn't be able to share or to reach audience that we reach. And we believe now digital is also a culture. Digital is what we will live with, so it's so good that to see us and to see others who are using this digital into a platform that they can still speak, they can still express, they can still share our knowledge. So yeah, even tomorrow we're still going to share our last presentation where we talk about this another amazing artwork, an amazing exhibition that we did in a response of our lockdown. So yeah, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, Amy, for joining us this evening. It was a very fruitful and inspiring conversation that we had. The work that you're doing is wonderful. Educating small children at the age that they are developing knowledge about the world, knowledge about themselves as well, is just wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Detlef, do you want to still go through the program for maybe tomorrow morning?
Yes, let's quickly have a look again. On the website. We start tomorrow morning with Get a Clue, a digital detective story for children. We had in cooperation with the German author, Julian Press, who compiled us from his books a detective story for children. That starts from 9. And at 11 o'clock, like I said already, Tata Madiba goes digital. At 3 o'clock, we present Bib2Go, the digital library card of the Goethe-Institut. We will introduce in the process of next year,